we think are some of the best deal makers in the last 20, 30, 40, maybe even 50 years?
We talked about Sam Walton.
I'm going to go with another Sam. Let's go with Sam Zell.
You didn't know I was going to say this, but Darin Garman.
Darin Garman. Whoa! Guys like Steve Jobs.
Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. Welcome to the Heartland Multifamily Show, the shorter, more profitable path to multifamily ownership and investing. Everybody, it's Darin and Isaiah and Jasmine. Hi, Isaiah and Jasmine.
Hello.
I want to welcome you, even you, and you to this episode of the Heartland Multifamily Show, the place
For all things multifamily.
for all things multifamily. And today's episode is Dealmaker episode. So Isaiah and I have been talking and going over who do we think are some of the best deal makers in the last 20, 30, 40, maybe even 50 years. So we threw a bunch of names around who we thought were the best deal makers out there. And no matter what you're doing or what you're involved in, whether you're involved in business or not, you're somehow, some way always making some kind of a deal somewhere. When you think of deal maker, Isaiah, give me what your definition of a deal maker is.
Someone who can bring either themselves and another party or be in the middle of the party to come together on an agreement.
Yeah. Somebody that has that, I think that's a really great definition, has that genius ability to bring people together to get a deal done, whether it's separate people or whether it's them, they're involved in it too, maybe, having that genius-like ability to do it. I agree with you 100%. When you think about some of the real big deal makers that we've been around, we've talked to, let's just start naming a few that we talked about. Go ahead, you start first.
We talked about Sam Walton.
Sam Walton. So let's just stop there. So obviously, the guy that built one of the largest retail chains from scratch in the world with Walmart and Sam's Club. If you've not read Sam Walton's book, it's got some age on it. It is a priceless book that really gives you an idea of just what it was like to do that. I think Sam Walton is a big one. So let me name one. I'm going to go with another Sam. Let's go with Sam Zell. So Sam Zell is once again a guy that pretty much started by trying to buy apartment buildings and vacant lots around the University of Michigan. And he parlays all of that and that experience into becoming, one of the biggest real estate owners in history. He recently passed away here, I want to say a few years ago. But, there's a guy that was continuing up until the very end, working on completing, being obsessed by deals and putting deals together. How about you? You name another guy.
You didn't know I was going to say this, but Darin Garman.
Darin Garman. Whoa!
Yeah, he does a pretty good job of trying to find a way to grab another asset. If it's financials, it's looking at different ways you can fund it. You're always trying to find, even if it doesn't work out, you're going to keep looking for a different way,
Yeah, I appreciate that. And that is accurate. I mean, I'm pretty tenacious about that. And love doing that. So thank you. I appreciate it. Hey guys, a lot of people contact me and want to know where are the best resources when it comes to investing in multifamily? Where can I go? And the obvious answer is DarinGarman.com. 99.9% of all of the items on the website are absolutely free. Start making that multifamily investment that you've been thinking about a great reality. Here's another one. So you got guys like Steve Jobs. So he's a big deal maker. Look what he was able to do from going up and down in his world, from starting Apple, running Apple, being fired from Apple, coming back, and all the things that he was able to do in his lifetime. Pretty damn impressive on what he was able to do with what he did. You got anybody else that comes top of mind before? I got one big one. I was
going to go with the big one, but go ahead.
Go ahead, go with your big one. Who is it?
The man?
Well, who's that?
Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. Would you say he's got to be close to one of the best deal makers? Would you say that?
Yes.
I would say so too. Look at what Trump has done as president in terms of bringing people together, brokering deals, whether it's peace deals, whether it's tariff deals, whether isn't he doing something with the UFC?
Yeah,
What's going on with that?
He's also so him and Dana White are pretty good friends, and Trump's made a few appearances at some UFC events with Dana, but next year for the 250th birthday of America, Trump is having a UFC fight on the lawn of the White House, and there's been multiple athletes who have came out and retired in the past year, 2 years, that are coming out of retirement just to fight on the lawn of the White House for Donald Trump.
Yeah. So, I mean, and then you've got, what's going on government-wise, whether you agree or not with what Doge has done, making deals there, whether you agree or not with, a lot of employees that have been laid off. I mean, there's always deals going on. And then we're not even talking about the real estate stuff, guys, because remember, President Trump got his start was in real estate. And if you've not read Art of the Deal and a lot of the other Trump books, I mean, they're definitely must reads in terms of what you need to know in terms of making not just profitable real estate deals, but mega real estate deals, right? So he's not only pulling the real estate deal strings, he's not only pulling the UFC deal string. I mean, he's even I know him and the NFL haven't gotten along great lately, but there's even deal strings being pulled there. And then he's trying to put Putin and Zelensky in, NATO. He's trying to do that deal. There's the tariffs. Okay, well, here's what we're going to negotiate with you. Here's what we're going to do with you. And by the way, is this being done slowly? And, this year we might kind of work on that. Next year we might kind of work on that. Or is this boom, deal done? Boom, deal done. What is it?
He's doing all this at once, one after the other, and then continues on some of them to circle back.
I have never seen this kind of momentum and this kind of progress. Now, not every single day there's progress. There's sometimes a step back or 3 steps back and all that. But I've never seen anything like this. And if you're someone that is really action-oriented, like you and I mean, action. We got to keep going, right? This is like, holy God, this is great. This is what should be happening. We should be taking this kind of massive action at what we're doing and how we're doing it. But I mean, if you're someone that's not an action person, you're not really liking what's going on. You might think, we should, be calmer and gentler and nicer with what we're doing and how we're doing it. No, we're talking deal makers here. This is what deal makers do. They don't do things super slow. They don't do it methodically. There might be points in time where maybe that's called for, and it does happen, but it's action. And this is what you're getting. I mean, I'm wondering when the guy actually takes a break. Does he take a break and sleep once in a while, you think?
Patrick David said that when he was talking to Trump. So Pat says he goes on a day or two when he's doing his conferences, or he goes to these conferences that he's second part of, not putting on his own. He says he won't sleep sometime for 2 days. When he was talking to Trump and he was talking to Trump's son when they were all there in the studio before the election, his son told him that he does not sleep for 2, 3, sometimes 4 days in a row since they were campaigning. And he's in his 70s.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right. Well, look, we're not going to get too far into the weeds with all of that and personal habits and everything. But look, the main reason we wanted to have this episode is the term deal maker comes up a lot. And, we brought up just a small handful of what we would consider memorable deal makers out there. You probably have some others that you would say, yeah, these got to be on your list, Darin, Isaiah, these guys or these women, whatever, these people got to be on your list. And sure, bring them on. But towards the top of the list, at least right now, at the top of the mountain has got to be President Trump with the deal making that he's able to do and the genius he has in bringing parties and people together continually, and being obsessed with the action of doing that. I've never seen anything like it. I know you've never seen anything like it, and I know you've never seen anything like it. So Z, you got anything that you want to add to what we've talked about in this deal maker episode?
No, not really. I obviously am younger, and social media is a big part of my life, and being able to see how involved Trump is with everything and seeing all the all the news outlets that aren't really news outlets, podcasters and people that actually present real news, talk about the stuff he's been up to, especially the last couple of weeks, has been really cool.
That's been interesting. So actually I do have a question for you. And the question is this. When you think about how many deals you're working on, and you and I were working on a couple of things together, and just how much time, effort, and energy just a few of those take, right? So then wrap your mind around all this other stuff going on that we're talking about. It's pretty impressive, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's insane, especially when we're dealing with just business. He's looking at business, what he can bring to our country, what he can stop in other countries, stop people from dying. It's pretty incredible how much his motor's on 24/7.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. A Dealmaker's motor is on 24/7, pretty much. That's pretty much it. That's a great way to put it. I love it. All right. I want to thank Isaiah. Thank you. Jasmine, thank you. She really contributed a lot to this episode. And I want to thank you for joining us on this episode of the Heartland Multifamily Show, the place
for all things multifamily.
And other things too. Would love to hear your comments on what you thought about what we talked about in this Dealmaker episode. All right, we'll see you later. Take care. Bye-bye. If you want to get your hands on more great multifamily real estate content, make sure you click here. If you want to invest passively in great multifamily real estate, make sure you click here.